American Hustle. Hustling Americans.
Yeah, the movie that Christian Bale is really, really fat in.
Soundtrack
Awkwardly
sucked.
fat.
I really kind of feel like David O. Russell just called him up like, hey, Christian, we got a movie for you. You're going to be this con man. You got, like, you're bald a little bit. And Christian's like, you want me to be fat? He's like, no, we don't need you to be fat. He's like, all right, I'm doing it. I'm gaining 50 pounds. He's like, Christian, what are you talking about? You don't have to always fluctuate your weight so crazy.
You know, I don't think he even told him that. Like, he just showed up on the set.
He's looking massive. Yeah,
They're
probably.
like, oh, who's that fat guy? I thought Christian Bale was coming in at 10. Yeah, he brought out like a bucket of chicken. He ate a whole chicken last night.
I want to know if that's his real chest hair. Or if they used that CG on there.
They used that movie magic.
That's makeup, yeah. I want to know.
Honestly, that part where they show his bald head.
You mean the first scene?
Was that the first scene?
It's a
Very
great
first scene.
opening scene.
That's a good opening scene.
It was a good opening scene, Alex.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it
Why
was.
not?
Why not?
First of all, okay, it was really quiet.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Elaborate. You're just watching him just like stare in the mirror, fixing his hair. All right, whatever. Took a little too long, but
Yeah,
then
it took too long.
we're in the theater with a bunch of old people going. What's this scene about?
That's a fact.
That's not the movie's fault. That's
it
not the
is.
movie's fault.
But
I
hey,
mean,
this
yeah,
was part of my movie experience. Okay,
It wasn't
Don't watch
it wasn't
So,
not meant to be
this
played
will
in a
go
morgue.
towards my rating that I won't tell. Like,
Don't watch it with old people.
Are you serious? You take that into account? Like, if there was a screaming baby next to you and you're watching, like, Gravity,
Well,
you
but
say,
if it-
like,
but-
fuck this movie,
no,
screaming
but if,
baby.
no, but if it's a quiet movie and people just like moving in their chair,
Yeah, I
is
remember
annoying.
watching 12 Years a Slave had some really quiet parts. People be it's
I
just
would
really
take
annoying.
I would
It's like-
take culture into account if it's extreme, like the fact that you said we were the youngest people there by quite a margin. It seemed
Yeah.
like it was 20 and then 120. There really wasn't. And
It's
so,
a movie that took place almost, like, the movie takes place almost 40 years ago.
Yeah, like 78.
35
I think
years
it said,
ago.
something
Yeah,
like that.
78.
Part of this almost kind of happened. Everybody's like, ha ha ha! It was so hilarious! Ha ha!
Oh yeah,
They kept doing that throughout the whole movie. Ha ha ha! Look at this! It's
that's actually
hilarious.
something I want to bring up. It starts off saying most of this actually happened, and
Some
everyone,
of this.
Some of this actually.
some of this actually
Let's
happened.
not exaggerate here. It's
And at that point, you think, okay, it's going to be smart with making a movie about this and not try to cram a bunch of shit in it. And I think it did that.
there wasn't a movie there.
I mean, really, like, it turned into, okay, we have the story about this scam, but let's put a bunch of 70s nostalgia jokes in it. Just, like, throw it in there.
Yeah.
Stretch it out.
It's more a movie about a time and place than it is really about a happening.
The writing sucked hard. Can we talk about the writing? It
Yeah.
sucked hard.
The thing about,
Like the characters, they all were awful. And it wasn't actors' faults. It was the writing looked like it was written by a 13-year-old trying to write a mobster movie. And that's what I meant. There was, like, childish drama and, like,
It's not
"Ooh,
really-
look,
it's-
this one time this woman smokes a marijuana cigarette and she's a bad person and they have this magic oven and it's hilarious.
it's not a
and
mobster movie, though.
That's
No.
what it seems like. That's what they're trying to write. It probably is to a 13-year-old.
It's David O. Russell who writes rom-coms.
Is he 13?
No, he's an old
Oh,
man.
he did The Fighter. It wasn't
Okay, he
rom-com.
did the fighter, but he likes to put romance angles in his movies.
He's good at it.
He's good at it.
This
and
wasn't
they
done
seem
well.
very realistic
I
in that way.
disagree. I
Seemed
think
like
that
it-
no,
13.
I think that the romance, I mean the love square, I don't know if you would call it that, in this movie was
the
done
fourth
really well.
angle thing?
Rhombus.
There's Jennifer
Oh,
Lawrence,
all the characters.
all four of them,
Amy Adams.
Christian Bale and
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Harry.
Yeah, he was hairy. I didn't know he was that hairy. Anyways, all the actors do an amazing job.
They were fine. Their writing for their lines and their actions sucked. The writing was awful. It also looked like it was filmed with an iPhone.
How so?
It looked awful.
Well, it was supposed to. It was supposed to look gritty, like it's from the
It
70s.
looked... No, it
Yeah.
shouldn't.
I mean,
You
if
want,
you
like,
remember-
clear, crystal clear picture, Jay?
He
Yes,
doesn't
I
remember
do.
he's not from the
It's 1080p.
70s.
It's a remake of the... It's supposed to be a reenactment of the 70s.
Yeah, well, more or less.
I don't want... Yeah, so it wasn't filmed in the 70s. It was filmed in the 70s. I'm fine with
Jake
it.
didn't see the movie he expected to see, so he's upset about it.
I-
What was
something I
funny
didn't
was, it was
expect.
funny was I showed up late to this one,
Yeah.
which I've done a lot now,
Yeah, you have. You're on you're on this weird binge.
Hey, I'm used to
Late
Central Time.
Oh, I see.
So
It's fucking
you show up
late,
5 minutes late.
Show up an entire hour late.
Yeah. But anyways, I walk into the theater, I see Andrew, Molly, and Andrew's sister sit in one row, and then I see this big 6'3" man with a cheetah printed Santa hat just like in the back by himself, and I just like leaned to Jake, who that is, and went, hey, they're up there, and he's just like, I know.
Yeah, were you even supposed to be there, Jake?
Yeah, I was there way earlier than you guys.
We had no idea you were even
I got there like 15 minutes early.
I didn't think it was your flick, man. I thought you were going to be at Anchorman 2.
I should have gone to it. I said I should have gone to it. This movie sucked.
gravy.
I have seen little bits of Anchorman 2, and I'm not qualified to judge it, but this movie was funnier than Anchorman 2.
Well,
That's
because this was a comedy as far as everybody
more
else.
or less. Yeah, I qualify as comedy. The dramedy, maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I was thrown off by that.
13-year-old dramedy. Bunch of 13-year-olds being
You don't
13.
really. You done?
Why?
You don't really see that a lot. Where this movie has elements of scams, mobsters, committing crimes, but then it's also really put in this dramedy kind of genre because I don't know. It seemed more important was the relationships between these characters than the actual story.
Because it was so
And I thought
poorly
that
written,
was-
it didn't help.
I didn't like the choice, but I think for what that is, they did the best they could.
The scenes felt long, too.
Yeah,
Scenes were very long.
That's-
to be honest.
Many of
Yeah.
the scenes felt
really
way... Like you said, the opening scene, it wasn't any worse than the rest of the movie. It was just way too long for what it was.
Well, it's a long ass movie. It really is. But for me, I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice how long
No.
it took.
I didn't feel the movie being long. I felt particular scenes being too long.
You add up a bunch of really long scenes to make it really long.
But the movie just didn't feel long to me. But the scenes, particular
Are you
scenes...
saying a nice thing about American Hustle?
The end saved it. The end saved it. for me.
Ending. You liked the ending.
I didn't like the ending. The ending was
Adequate?
much better written than the rest of the movie.
I want to ask how, but I don't want to spoil anything. How?
Yeah, I know. It's just... I know everybody hates twists, and I don't like it because it's a twist, necessarily, but it just took an angle I didn't expect.
Oh, you didn't expect that? I mean, I saw that one coming.
I saw it
I
coming.
predicted that.
I didn't know how.
There was so much going on. It makes sense now, looking back, I should have expected it, but
Yeah.
because of so many different things going on, and me focusing on the relationships and really not the story, it helped kind of bring it back to the story, I think, better, and it kind of got away from the relationships, and so it just seems like it finalized things, it was just different than what I expected, and it kind of brought back to reality the story as opposed to these poorly written characters.
Let's cut to the chase here. You wanted to see Jennifer Lawrence's boobs in this.
I thought
and you didn't see them, so this movie went down a notch.
It's not that. I saw...
I think it's that.
The whole thing was...
He saw that one scene, he's like, they're gonna come out, like, a few seconds after that. You saw that in the trailer, and you're like...
I never saw... The thing is, that's my mistake. I never watched the trailer. I watched interviews of people that very poorly interviewed the cast, and everybody acting like this is the greatest movie ever.
Why'd you do that?
Because it was a commercial. I just saw it. It was an accident. It
See,
wasn't
you're
like...
watching television. That's your problem.
No, I wasn't watching television. It was a commercial on YouTube, but I never watched the
watched it
trailer.
on YouTube.
So I
This is
actually
bad.
never knew what was going to happen.
Well,
I only knew
honestly,
Jennifer Lawrence and Christian Bale were in it, and it was supposed to be this hilarious, wacky, fun time with them. The chemistry was great. The chemistry was great if you're 15.
Honestly,
I thought you were 13.
Yeah, they're 15. When you bring in everybody, it gets down to like a 13-year-old
Oh, I see.
level.
It's like the median age or something.
Yeah.
So, Molly, you seem to be the most positive about this. What did you like about it?
I think that the tension was really well done throughout the whole movie. There were scenes that were... I mean, I didn't really know what was going to happen, and you have to agree that there were some scenes of very high tension that really involved me as a watcher? A viewer.
As
a viewer.
as a watcher of the movie.
If I was,
A viewer.
if I was going to be somebody watching the movie.
As a viewer. I thought the tension was really well done. I think there's some scenes that were really awesome. I disagree. I liked all of the convoluted relationships. I like that it starts out with the plot and the scams, and then it jumbles into these relationships because it's not black and white. Everything muddles.
Might as well
But
have been
then-
filmed in black and white. It was so poorly filmed. What scenes are you saying are tense?
Okay, well, I
I
think
think
that a lot of suspense was carried by Christian Bale's character because he knows this shit, and that's conveyed that he's been in this game before.
I didn't
and
get-
no one else really. Everyone else is over their head. Bradley Cooper's character plays an FBI agent. He has no idea what he's getting into.
Yeah.
Amy Adams thinks she knows what she's doing, but she's not really sure.
She's smart.
Christian Bale, though, knows these people are, like, fucking dangerous, and he's terrified. You can see it on his face. Like,
there is a scene where you see Amy Adams and... Who's the guy with the fro? You just said...
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. They're both sitting there just going, like, smiling, and then you see Christian Bale in the back trying to stick in his
heart medicine.
His heart medicine.
He's
like,
a heart attack.
He's about to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Christian Bale really saves this movie, honestly. He transforms into this character. He controls pretty much every scene.
Yeah.
Everyone else doing a decent job, but if he
I've
wasn't
never
in
seen
this...
acting from him that's more genuine. There's a scene where he's just like screaming at Jennifer Lawrence, and like we've seen Christian Bale be all brooding a lot, and we haven't really seen him do much else. Let's be honest.
I don't see any of the suspense or tense that you guys
I think
see.
they're talking about is once part of the scam, they had to affiliate themselves with certain groups.
Yeah,
the fucking mob.
The actual scenes of like
there was
out
of that there was one part that was tense where
I don't see it.
There's a cameo by someone and he reveals that he knows something. He knows more than...
There's this scene where they're in a back room. There's a lot of danger and a lot of tension, and it's so tense. It's so tense. You don't know what's going to happen. You
I
don't
thought
know
it was tense. It reminded me of Argo. Argo also based on a true story, and the thing about Argo, I don't know if you like it at all. I think you like it, Alex.
I really like it.
Do you like Argo better than this movie?
Yes.
I hate Argo now. I've seen it like at least twice. And the more I think about it, the more bullshit Hollywood it is.
Yeah, but it's so tied to its story.
Yeah, but it pulls shit out of its ass, and this movie stays true to life at least. You can't deny that this shit could have happened. Whereas Argo, it just makes it up.
It could have happened, but I just don't get any of the suspense. I didn't feel like they were trying to be suspenseful the whole time.
You really didn't.
I disagree.
Vibe, Jake.
I did not.
I don't know if we saw the same movie. I mean, it was obviously the things he does with the camera, the way he shoots. I guess you don't want to say who's in the movie at the end, but there's a particular character who's supposed to be imposing, and he shoots him from underneath to make him look bigger and scarier.
Because that guy's not that tall.
He's really not. But this the way that the film is shot. Really,
I will say that there are a few great angles, especially he does this thing where you see someone into the picture and then he zooms into them.
Yeah,
I'm really curious how he did that.
What I love is that how
so
when something is being revealed or when a character's watching something, he zooms and then cuts to a closer shot. Yeah. I really like that. I like he zooms a lot in this movie. There are a couple ridiculous shots where it's people wearing ridiculous 70s outfits walking through the fog or something. And the soundtrack is playing these...
The soundtrack sucked.
No, the soundtrack was amazing.
The soundtrack was amazing.
It was really good.
It was great.
Awful.
You see him playing Yellow Brick Road? And
stupid.
That was fantastic. It was
Stupid
maybe
songs.
the best scene in the movie.
No, but
Stupid
you're talking about the part where like...
everyone's
a
coming
light
together
broke,
and
so like it was shooting out mist and fog, and so they're just all like strutting. I'm just like,
slow motion.
I mean, honestly, you're not supposed to take this movie seriously.
I don't think you are.
No, and I think maybe that was my problem. This movie was really hyped in a way. Mm-hmm. Lots of trailers. Okay, you know how I was talking about 23 minutes of trailers?
Yeah.
There was always an American Hustle trailer. So I saw this every single goddamn
I gotta admit,
week.
The trailer might be better than the movie. The trailer is fucking good.
And it's like a cool music video, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like there's parts where like David O Russel just like jams on like some song he really likes.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And then other parts it completely drops out and it gets really, really quiet. Mm-hmm. That was just an interesting style choice.
Jake, you're right in that. The more I think about it, the lines, the memorable lines, aren't great lines. You know, they're not gonna be remembered forever. They're conveyed so well. Like when Amy Adams, who by the way is, the more you think about it, the plot hinges on her. She is a very pivotal character.
Yes.
I know that Christian Bale commands the screen, but she's really important.
The characters did very well. The actors, I'm not denying that. The actors and actresses, they did phenomenally. But their characters and like just the whole way it's written is not written well, but they perform well. But you're polishing a turd, though. You can only do so much with it.
I mean, it's not wholly writ or anything, but there are lots of parts early in the film where they don't even talk, and it's narration.
Yeah, you don't find out their names. You don't find out Amy Adams or Christian Bale's names until about 15 to 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was weird.
I don't even remember they had names.
Honestly,
did you like the narration? Because it kind of it jumped back and forth.
Yeah, it changed perspective. It was very evocative of Goodfellas in that way. And that's a great movie. I don't know. I can't tell you how it's bad or good, but I enjoyed it. I thought it really told the story well in a way that just the dialogue couldn't have.
Now, you brought this point up, and you just said this. Right when the movie ended, you said, this is David O. Russell trying to make his version of Goodfellas.
More or less, yeah. The thing is, though, unlike Goodfellas, this movie is a lot more understated. No one gets capped. It's more about people and their relationships than it is about the mob or the drug trafficking or whatever Goodfellas is about. It's been a while, but
Yeah, Goodfellas is more of a, I don't want to say like a man's movie, but like higher stakes. It's more about life and death.
Yeah.
Working in the game of being a mobster. This one is like,
doesn't make it better.
This is
a
one
chick flick.
honestly, yeah.
got
You
girls.
could kind of bring a girl into this and like introduce her to that kind of elements of
Another thing, why was it rated
scamming.
R? Nobody's
Rated
They
R?
said the F word.
They said the F word, and you
But
saw.
there's no reason for that. They
Did you
should have
see
cut
any
that
boobs?
out.
There were boobs. Amy Adams.
Did you actually see them, or did you just see the tassel thing? That
No,
was...
you see a lot of boobs.
They're just.
Yeah, they're-
But you see cleavage.
cut out.
No,
shirt.
you see boobs when they introduce her character, when she gives her background, when she's sleeping with Christian Bale.
Alex, were you watching this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of boobs.
I don't remember
A lot of
that at
Amy
all.
Adams boobs, but
Okay, like you could see him through a shirt.
Who has a convincing British accent, by the way.
That was impressive.
That really was. The way you can just like, turn it on and off, and it was...
You usually don't see that. You don't see Americans do good British accents. You usually see the flip
Yeah,
side
you're
of
right.
that.
You're right. Usually when they try it, it just sounds bad, like DiCaprio. That fucking guy. I don't know if he's ever tried a British accent before, but I know he couldn't do it. He can't. He can't do
Never heard
any
him do it, but I
accents.
can feel he doesn't have it in him.
Yeah, he's terrible.
No, that was just like a diss.
A dig on that
You just
actual
shoved him in the bus.
Scorsese movie coming out next week. That's kind of weird, really, isn't it? I don't know if anyone ever saw Super 8. I can't blame you if you didn't, but that was basically J.J. Abrams trying to be Steven Spielberg.
And didn't that bother you?
Yeah, I did. But that's because it was pretending. And this movie, I think, might even outdo Scorsese. Yeah, I really
You think
love
this is
movie.
better than Goodfellas?
Arguably.
Okay.
I've
well,
seen Goodfellas more than once, and there's some cracks. Yeah,
Okay.
it's-
Well, I'm gonna do the guessing game here. Just like let's give our ratings, but I think we're gonna go in the order ascending. So Jake, go.
Don't see it.
Not forget about it.
The ending saved it.
You really like the ending, Jake.
Yeah, I just
Don't see it because
The problem is, the reason I like the ending is because I just had an issue with the fact that the story was there. The story wasn't bad. It's almost like two movies. It's like they're trying to have this story, but at the same time they have this like
melodrama.
yeah, this thing is it's too powerful. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's just the fact that it overcomes the story. The story isn't even happening anymore. It's long scenes of these relationships, and I don't like that. And so when it comes to the end brings it back to the story in a big way, I think, and it really makes. I think the story's good. It just wasn't.
Okay,
But
so
the-
then
but-
we have some duality here. We have story-driven stories, and then character-driven stories.
Yes, and I
But
don't.
you don't like character-driven stories.
Or
It's not that I don't
or
like characters,
If you
it's
don't
the-
like the characters,
It's
You don't
not
like the characters?
It's none of that. It's that it was too strong. Is my thing. I'm fine with character intro. I'm fine with a little side plot, a little relationship over here, a drama. That's fine in any movie. I'm okay with that. It's the fact that they couldn't decide whether they wanted that to be the movie or they wanted it to be a side plot, and so it was just too big.
But the thing is, in this movie, the relationships drive the story. It influences the story in so many different ways that you can't cut them apart, or you can't minimize the effect of the relationships and the characters in this story. You just can't do it and have it be as effective.
They hang on them too long.
That's a theme in David O. Russell.
It's-
I don't know if anyone's seen I Heart Huckabees, but they're talking about their philosophies and how why can't we just live life like this all the time? And that's I think it's a recurring trope or something that they just say like, well, human bullshit gets in the way.
yeah.
this is very similar to Silver Linings Playbook in a way.
How so?
You have characters that, like, from the get-go are pretty broken. And unlike, I guess, Silver Linings Playbook, where you see a few of them have arcs, sort of being less broken by relationships they built through their families, this one's more about, you see elements of just backstabbing and I like who, this is this and that. And so there's a lot of this, melodrama going on, but also at the end you kind of just see where everyone lines. in a
Did
way.
you like Silver Linings Playbook?
Yes, I did.
I know Molly did.
But
I did.
I guess that one I really enjoyed the characters. I almost like this. I came into this one,
Yeah.
I guess, expecting more.
Okay, so you came in
And-
too excited.
Maybe I expected maybe more hustling. I guess I don't know.
More American, more hustling,
A little
less
more
British,
hustling.
But it
less
was definitely American,
crying.
but like I didn't expect to come into a movie that was more about the melodrama and the relationships. If I knew that beforehand, I might have came out of the theater but a little bit more appreciating it. And so I guess for me, my rating is wait to rent it. I think if you saw this at home, you saw this on Netflix, and you'd be like, "Oh, I really enjoyed that," but I really don't see.
You can't deny that it's a well-made movie. I know, I'm sure Jake can.
What do you-
I can't deny that,
Yeah.
but I think this is not a movie that warrants the hype that it's getting, and I don't think it warrants going to see it in the theater. But I think this is like one of those like small films that like wait 30 years from now, people, and then like see this on whatever Netflix will ever be then, and then like brag to the people you saw that you hang out with that you saw this. This is like that tiny film that you see somewhere and just like that's what you I don't know. That's how I view it. I don't think it warrants. The only thing I see maybe Oscar wise is maybe Christian Bale gets nominated, but anything else.
the actors brought people
Forget
in.
about
I think, yeah,
the
I think the
Oscar
actors
thing.
brought people in.
So Andrew, go next.
Oh, sure. All right. Well, I hardly disagree with everything. I thought probably the script should get nominated. Definitely the picture, the director, everybody in it did an amazing job. I don't know about Jennifer Lawrence. I really like Jennifer Lawrence.
She played the same character from Silver Linings Playbook.
No, she was a
No.
mom in this one, and she was like a.
she played a
Jersey-
crazy woman.
Yeah, sure, she was crazy, but she was acting older than her age. And I just because I know how old she is, or I've seen her in Hunger Games like last week, I thought that was just hard sell.
She was supposed to be
It
a
was
young mom.
kind of a hard sell.
Because Christian Bale's character talks about how he
He's
goes in,
fucking
he
40
saves
something.
her, and he adopts her son.
Yeah, but how long have they been together? It was kind of fuzzy. I wasn't really
Honestly,
feeling that one.
she's 23?
Something like that.
Early
Is she really
20s.
23?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I
Yeah.
could see that. But
So-
still,
I felt
I mean,
like
that's
her
not-
character was like in her 30s.
yeah, but she doesn't look 30.
No.
It doesn't make it. It's a quibble. She's a great actress. Everyone in here is a great actor. Was
Correct.
that Louis C.K.?
Yes, that was Louis
He was
C.K.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I loved those scenes.
And I would like to see him in more movies. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's actually something he started off with
I
doing,
didn't
was
even-
making
I-
small films
I didn't
himself.
even know that. It's cool. Yeah, everyone in this. Jeremy Renner is actually in this movie. Believe it or not.
We haven't even talked about it. He does a fantastic job.
He really does. And I
That's
can't
probably
remember.
this is the best performance I've ever seen Jeremy Renner
Hurt
do.
Locker. Anyone? Yeah, probably not. But
That one, his character is so just like distant in that movie. I don't see.
Oh, you're right.
I like. Here's it. Charisma wise, this one's a lot better.
Yeah.
I just like his character more.
Or he's great in Town too. Fantastic in that movie. Anyways,
Yeah.
so you call this movie like a small movie that's probably not going to make much of a wave, and I think it's just the opposite. I think it's a movie that these college kids are going to be like getting together to go watch and to analyze and take apart, and it's going to be watched a lot. Man,
Problem is this is coming a week before like a shit ton of movies coming out. A shit ton.
so
I'm
it's
just-
not going to be forgotten. And I think this is probably going to be like one of the great American movies. Not kidding.
Really?
Not kidding. Yeah.
You're a dirty liar.
No, this is gonna be like, hey, we're gonna get together, watch Citizen Kane, Vertigo. Like, no, let's watch American Hustle. I'm really not kidding. This is
Jesus
probably gonna be.
Christ.
It's probably gonna be David O. Russell's best movie, and I think you probably need to see it. And it's
Damn it.
surely the best movie.
You better
of
give the same
2013.
rating.
You're putting it up there with like the greatest in history, like
Best
Pulp
movie
Fiction,
of 2013.
like Pulp Fiction, The Good, the Bad, the
What?
Ugly.
Make Pulp Fiction look
This
like
is the best
good
movie
shit.
of.
You're a dirty
2013.
liar.
Yes, better than what? Than what? Place Beyond the Pines? Yeah, definitely.
12 Years a Slave?
12 Years a Slave, probably.
Probably.
Well, let's see.
Iron Man 3 was better than this crap.
Apples and oranges, man. We got 12 Years a Slave is a very serious movie about very serious issues. This movie is not serious, but I enjoyed it more. That's for damn sure. So, apples and oranges. They're both movies, but they're just very different movies. I feel
Two
bad
Guns
comparing
was
them.
better than this.
Two Guns
Two
was
Guns
a piece
sucked.
of shit.
better
That
than
movie-
this.
Jake,
It's a great American movie.
Jake, don't. Two Guns was not bad.
Yes, it was.
What are you talking about? It's funny though. We say great American movie because you talk about movies that have American in the title. We got American Psycho, also Christian Bale. We have American Gangster. What else we got?
American Beauty.
American Beauty. That's a good one. Great American movies, man. I'm
So
serious.
because it says
If
American
you just
in it, you
slap
think it's-
American on your title, you can have.
Oh
a good
my
movie.
god.
American Horror Story, not so much.
All right, Molly, what's your rating?
Greatest movie of 2013.
It is.
I agree. I think you need to see
American
it.
Pie. American Pie.
American Pie is better than this.
Classic.
American Wedding. Naked Mile is better than this. The whole series.
Camp.
Stifler could act circles around everybody in this. That's not true, but
No, I mean, I definitely agree. I think that this movie needs to be seen. I definitely disagree with you, Alex and Jake. There's...
Is that your phone?
keep talking. Don't worry about it.
I can't take this out.
Keep going.
How unprofessional, Jake.
I actually knew when we were talking that my phone wasn't on vibrate, and it makes a noise to put it on vibrate, so I was gonna just wait, but I didn't think Aaron would call this early.
Oh, and American Werewolf in London. That's
oh my god, this isn't the greatest movie ever.
It's the greatest American
Alright.
movie.
Okay, so I just agree with both of you, Alex and Jake. I think this movie was really well done. There are so many things that I appreciated that you guys didn't appreciate. I really loved the opening scene. I think that it was Andrew and I were talking earlier, I think it was a great introduction to Christian Bale's character. Christian Bale was amazing. All the other actors did a fabulous job. I liked the messiness of it because it starts out with the story.
It is
that
a mess.
American Splendor. That's a movie.
That's a movie.
Yeah.
It just convolutes and there's so many layers. I like that. And you guys you kind of
No, I like the layers, but I'm just saying this movie is it's overhyped.
There's too many layers.
It's overhyped.
I
Too
disagree.
too
I
many
think
layers.
It's a great movie.
It's a bit of a mess in what it does. With the whole like layers thing about people like backstabbing each other, what angles are going at, you know, who are they aligned with?
The American President.
Too many
That's
layers
a
are
movie.
too thick.
No,
When you make it
I
a
did like
pinata-
that, and they were very mature about it with not like fucking reminding you like, oh yeah, she's still faking this. Like they didn't have to keep reminding you. They just went like, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, and then do it.
yeah.
Oh,
And
The
they didn't
American with George Clooney. That's a shit movie. That's terrible. It's such a bad movie.
The layers are just too thick. If you make a pinata and you make it too thick, you can't get to the candy on the
But
inside.
it's true to life. It's true to life.
what?
All this could definitely happen. All this
But the
could...
thing is,
not
they
a-
never gave me any
It's not
candy.
a perfect metaphor.
So wait, Molly, because this could actually happen, that warrants quality.
No, I'm saying that it's true to life and I like that. It doesn't have to have all this fanfare and, you know...
Why did you just put ugly people in it? Because life is full of ugly people.
Mama always said life's like a box full of cliches.
Okay, no, the thing about this movie is it doesn't need, you know, fireworks. Okay, there are a couple fireworks, actually.
There are only about
How about the clubbing scene? Like,
Okay, no, it doesn't need...
Yeah, they were
doesn't-
popping X on that thing. Those lights were making my eyes hurt.
It doesn't need gunfire. It doesn't need someone to be
There's some gunfire.
slaughtered. Okay, there's one person and it's a very minor scene
needed
to
both of those
explicate
things.
on a character.
all right, yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't need someone to
It
get
doesn't rely on
smashed
It
in the
doesn't
street.
rely on violence
You
or
tried-
giant explosions.
But you try
Understandably.
making an engaging movie without any of those things. It's tough.
Understandably, okay. So it's not like what like a bunch of 15-year-old boys are gonna go enjoy. It's much more
wrote it
mature.
very
It's
13-year-olds.
mature than that, but it's not that great.
I disagree.
Disagree.
I disagree.
To say greatest movie of 2013 is an
Yeah,
insult.
like
What,
I,
Jake, what better movie? have you
Pain
seen
and
this
Gain
year?
came out this year.
Pain and
Okay,
Gain,
you're just
terrible.
gonna name a bunch of shit movies
Yeah.
They're better than this.
to defend your opinion.
No, they're better than this. This is just this.
Okay, if you like Two Guns over American Hustle, your opinion's shit.
I didn't like Two Guns that much. It was still better than this because it
Two
wasn't
Guns was shit.
better than this.
It was shit.
Then this has to be even worse.
what's
No.
worse than shit?
The dirt that it
Hustle?
falls on.
American shit.
It just
Is that a movie?
it didn't have anything to keep. It just
It
wasn't
had
there.
everything to keep it going. Oh my god,
No,
the
it
tension was so great.
The
And
tension.
There was
I don't think you know what tension is.
Okay, I don't think you can pick up on it because it was awesome. It was everywhere. Okay, Jennifer Lawrence.
A mobster's bodyguard with a gun to somebody's head? That's intense. Two guys sitting around with a
You
gun.
don't need a gun to someone's head to create tension.
It's very
It was
persuasive.
It was implied.
implied tension. Yes,
There's
that's
no
a good word.
implied tension. Implied tension, some old guy. Yeah, the four of them would have whooped up on him.
Shh, now, shh.
Nah. You're wrong.
No,
Yeah.
Two bodyguards. You want me to believe one of the most powerful men in the world has two bodyguards, neither one of them carry a gun. Boy, yeah, they were real intimidating.
I think that
They
this.
probably had guns.
I didn't
I
see
don't
him.
think they had guns, so...
I think that this movie was.
This is more entertaining than the movie. Sorry.
The movie sucked.
These two redheads just...
No, it just wasn't good.
You think when they get angry, their hair turns
Movie of
redder?
the year. That's you work at a movie
Is that a
theater.
thing, Ginger's
Yeah,
here?
I've seen
like when
almost
you get
every
angry,
movie
your
this
hair
year.
turns
Yeah,
redder?
it just doesn't.
No.
What?
I hear
Flames
that I
don't
have a
flow through it?
temper.
I'll admit it
Temper.
wasn't the best year for movies.
Oh yeah,
That's
it
why
definitely wasn't the best year for
redheads
movies,
have
but this was not the movie of the year. Year is also not over. There's a lot of movies coming out.
You're
this
right. You're right. We
Yeah, so-
saving
Hobbit
this-
was better than this.
Hobbit, no.
No.
All this
Okay.
CG.
Jake
No.
just disqualified his
No,
opinion.
Okay. First of all, let's think about this.
Looks like it was filmed in 2013, not 1944.
So, movies coming out this
78.
year that are probably going to be... Not probably, that are better than this.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh wait, are we
You haven't
talking? Are we
seen it
talking
yet.
Oscars?
I've heard.
Let's talk about
We're
Oscars.
talking. Damn it! Fucking Academy Awards. It's such a politics game.
You know, Her is going to get nominated.
Maybe I don't know. It's like a 10 movie field, so anything goes.
I
Really.
really want to see her, by the way.
If Gatsby or Jobs gets anything, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, I won't.
They won't.
Gatsby
That wouldn't make
won't.
They
any
better
sense.
not.
That wouldn't
Then
make
Jobs...
DiCaprio's in it.
Is that
though.
still a movie?
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio has never gotten an Oscar.
Doesn't matter. He's due for one,
Yeah, that's a fact. Jake's right.
and people are talking
Yeah.
up.
He's not going to get it for that, though.
Chiwetel Ejiofor is going to win it.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I wouldn't debate you on that one, but Christian Bale should probably get a nod.
I
DiCaprio
completely
might
agree.
get.
He should get a nod.
It doesn't really matter at this point, but we're talking Best Pictures. Probably it's gonna be 12 Years a Slave, and this movie. And
Oh my god, if this one's Best Picture. I'm quitting.
It's probably going to get nominated. It's
Yeah,
David O-
nominated.
Gravity for sure. Gravity.
Gravity.
Nominated.
Spring
fine.
Breakers.
Spring Breakers. That came out this year. It did, didn't it?
Yes,
Like
it did.
March?
The
You see that
Wolverine.
movie?
The Wolverine. The Wolverine gets anything. We're shutting this podcast down. The Wolverine was a piece of crap. This movie was better than Wolverine.
We can agree on that, I guess. So yeah, basically this is going to turn to like the year in review.
We need
And
to do. We'll do a
what
podcast.
a perfect way to cap off the year.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do a
A
podcast.
good
of that. We'll do a
viewing
year
of
in review.
American Hustle.
We are.
We'll do a year in review.
We'll do that December 31st. We'll
We'll do a year in review.
cut it off and be like, all right, what are the best movies you've seen in
best and worst.
2013?
Best and worst things of 2013.
We're going to do that.
Well, everyone
Best
already
be
knows my
prepared.
answer, though.
No.
Oh, well, you better have a solid number 2.
Okay.
You also got to get your.
You
worst.
got to get your worst.
Yeah. Last year, my best movie was Cabin in the Woods.
I agree.
This is gonna be such a long
Well,
podcast for no reason. We're not
best-
talking about the movie anymore.
Yeah, we're just, you know.
Because this is kind of how
You,
the...
you can't say
Here's the
anything
thing.
nice, Jake.
This is kind of how the movie was, honestly.
Yeah.
This is okay. This is something like what my family does. We always like sit around around 5 o'clock for some reason. So like, hey, what should we do for dinner? And then an hour goes by because whenever someone says that question again, we go into some melodramatic yelling at each other for other things, and then eventually someone comes around and goes like, yeah, so like, what are we doing for dinner? Oh yeah, dinner. Oh, Johnny came over yesterday. Man, that guy's an asshole. Then it just goes on from there.
Who's Johnny?
I have no idea. I just made that up.
He sounds like an asshole.
So I've heard.
His name's Johnny. Am I right?
You're right.